A bushfire emergency on the biggest scale our nation has ever seen.
People don't really understand it until you actually see it coming at you in a wall of flames.
The smoke from the Australia bushfires has now reached all the way to South America.
From flames to flash floods. Just a week ago, staff at this nature park were protecting their animals from oncoming bushfires. Now they're having to deal with another extreme.
Australia has recorded its biggest one-day spike in cases since the outbreak began.
Medical authorities predict that in the best-case scenario, 20% of the Australian population will be infected. That equates to around 5 million people.
Wow. I literally picked the worst year to move to Australia.
So guys, I am here in San Diego. This is my hometown where I'm from, and I'm here because I had to get all my stuff, and I'm moving to Australia in the next few hours. I'm really excited. I'm moving to Melbourne because, in case you haven't seen my Australian videos, which I'll link above, I just felt like Australia was home. I felt like I belonged there, and ever since I left, I just wanted to go back. So after 3 years of traveling nomadically and living out of a bag and like not really having a home, I'm gonna have a home, and I'm so excited because I just feel like this is the next chapter of my life. This is where I need to go next, and I'm really excited. But the process to get the visa, so in case you haven't seen my Instagram, I actually got my visa yesterday when I was on the phone with Delta Airlines about to cancel my flight to Australia because I thought I was not gonna get my visa in time, and they literally sent me the visa when I was on the phone. So I'm really excited. I'll see you in Melbourne.
I guess I'm on another mission. It's what I'm craving for, and I ain't asking for permission. I'd rather kick indoors. I've been calling the shots until I'm on top. You're gonna find me getting the drop and taking scores. Oh, I ain't gonna stop. I'm a kid in the shop, copping candy, so give me what I'm asking for.
Given the current situation of our world, there's been a significant increase in online activity and hackers. I personally have received a few emails of suspicious activity on my Instagram, Facebook, and PayPal accounts. It's really important to protect your private information during this time, so I highly recommend you actively using a VPN because it hides your IP address and encrypts your network data so no one can see what you're doing on your devices. I've always used ExpressVPN, and I still have an exclusive code for All Where's Poppy followers that gives you 3 months free with a 1-year subscription. So if you click on the link in the description box of this video or go to expressvpn.com/where'spoppy, you'll get those first 3 months free and can use them on your phone or computer.
So it is now May 2020. I have been living in Melbourne for the last 8 months, and I have 4 months to legally stay here in this country on my visa. But right now, I am deep in the countryside of Victoria, freezing my ass off, working at a potato farm. Not really where I saw my life going, but anyway, here's some cows. When the seriousness of the virus started picking up, I realized that I really needed to get out of my place, so I listed my apartment, moved out, went to a friend's place when lockdown rules started happening, and crashed there while I looked for a farm job. So on the visa I have, if I want to get a second year, I have to do 3 months of what they say regional work, so working on a farm, to be able to extend it a second year. So that's what I'm doing. It took me a few weeks to actually find the job because obviously unemployment rate's quite high right now, but fortunately I did find something, and so yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be sorting potatoes until mid-July. It's gonna be amazing. Anyways, despite all of the unfortunate situations that's been occurring here in Australia of 2019 and 2020, I've still had a freaking blast here. Let's recap.
I moved to Melbourne back in September of 2019, the capital of the southeastern Australian state of Victoria. Got a 2-bedroom apartment in Richmond, just outside the CBD, with another American girl who I met on a Facebook housing group.
So you probably already seen on Instagram if you follow me there, but if not, this will all be brand new. But this is my beautiful place here in Melbourne that I love. This is my room. I'm so excited. I love it. I'm not completely done. I'm like pretty much, this is definitely like how my desk area and stuff, and my bed, and then this is like our entire view, which is just so pretty and great for people watching. And then over here we can have a view of the CBD, which I'm kind of crawling between here, but yeah, over here is super nice.
Those first few months in Melbourne, I didn't travel. I didn't leave. My main focus was making friends and establishing a community. I wasn't interested in traveling anymore because, well, I was burnt out. This constant go, go, go of this nomadic lifestyle may seem great on social media, like we're just living the dream, but it's exhausting. And there are many things missing in our lives that people don't realize carry so much importance, like the sense of belonging somewhere or just being surrounded by close friends. Having the ability to just go out for dinner with your buddy or go for a hike with someone you've started building a previous relationship with, not just someone you met at a hostel for 5 minutes. These are concepts you'd never think about until you don't have them, and then realize just how much they matter. Anyway, enough about that. One of the very first things I did after arriving to Australia and getting my apartment was head to Hillsong Church. If you remember from my older videos, I became a Christian in Hillsong, Sydney back in January 2019. It was from that moment that I kind of felt like my whole life flipped and just massively improved. I was no longer living in the future, but rather living in the present and being happy with wherever life was taking me. If I wasn't editing videos in my room, you could bet I was either at church or at some church event. That's pretty much all I did for those first few months in Melbourne, and because of it, it led me on some pretty epic spur-of-the-moment adventures. Just a month after being in Melbourne, I drove 4 hours away in Victoria to the middle of nowhere to camp and attend a drift show with a bunch of random people I'd never met. Pretty standard poppy adventure for you.
Guys, I am at the drift show right now, and these cars are
I'm actually from a racing background, spent most of my childhood at the racetrack as both my parents raced cars, so I thought this might be a similar experience, but it was definitely very different. After that, I headed to the Grampians, a national park located in Victoria, just 260 kilometers west of Melbourne, with my friend Christian, who I'd met on a previous trip I'd taken just a week prior to Gold Coast and Byron Bay.
Good morning, guys. Today I'm headed to the Grampians with
Christian.
He's also a YouTuber. What's your channel name?
My channel's name is Earth Trek.
Yeah, and he lives in New Zealand, but we met in Byron Bay, which I didn't film, sorry. But we are gonna go camping in the Grampians in the state of Victoria and go see a lot of pretty mountains and
waterfalls.
Waterfalls, yeah, should be fun.
We didn't exactly have the most perfect weather conditions while we were there, but it was still loads of fun. We saw some great lookout points, beautiful waterfalls, and even got to camp with some of the locals. After the Grampians, we went to my favorite place in Victoria, Mornington. In a way, I feel like I moved to Melbourne because I loved the Mornington Peninsula. The beaches there are just stunning, exactly the kind of beaches I love, which have clear blue waters, not really any waves, gorgeous rocky cliffs, rock pools, snorkeling, paddleboarding. I just love it. I've lost count of how many times I've come here, but it's been a lot.
We are at the beach here in Cape Schanck. It's about an hour down walking trek to the coast, and then over here there are some rock pools we're gonna go check out. It's so beautiful. What do you think, Hannah? So beautiful. That's why we love Australia.
Oh, it's loud in this place tonight, but I read your lips carefully, and you shared something personal about your polyamory. Said I won't tell a soul, I'll just turn it into fiction. I don't wanna talk now.
So if you walk down past the beach, you can come here. And right now it's pretty high tide, but usually you can walk this whole thing up on these rocks up here. And then around the corner there's also an archway, which is so beautiful. Whew. It's a bit cold, but it's still so nice. Whew. What are your thoughts?
It's pretty cool. It's definitely not warm.
Definitely not warm, no.
I even spent New Year's here with a group of friends. One of them even owned one of those colorful little beach box houses that are on the beach. So it's kind of like a tiny garage house on the sand where you can have a tiny kitchen and random things you'd want for a beach day. It's really convenient. It was this day that I also gave my first whack at cricket.
No, he dropped it. Run, you gotta run. You gotta run. Don't hit the wickets.
In November, I got to show a bunch of Aussies how we Americans celebrate Thanksgiving, which was sick. I don't always get to celebrate this holiday when I'm traveling for obvious reasons, so it was nice bringing a bit of my culture here. There were some pretty impeccable dishes cooked, probably still a bit full from that meal today. If I wasn't eating or drinking delicious Melbourne coffee, I was either at the beach or somewhere in nature. Some of the hikes I did and loved were the Werribee Gorge trek. The scenery here was quite dry, and I wouldn't say like stunning landscapes, but it was just a really fun hike with like different obstacles. One minute you're walking up and getting glimpses of different lookout points, and the next minute you are holding onto ropes and scaling rocks to stay on path, and then jumping into the surrounding waters. It's really fun. Or there's Wilson's Prom, another national park in Victoria that's 220 kilometers southeast of Melbourne and part of an Aboriginal cultural landscape. Here you can find beautiful beaches, go on some great coastal walks, or even overnight hikes. There's a lot of wildlife out there, either by the sea or in the bushes. We found tons, and I mean tons, of kangaroos. I've never seen this many kangaroos in the wild before coming here.
Oh my god. Oh, that's kind of mean. Oh. Hi, little guy. Hi.
There's also the Big Drift Walk, which is a massive sand dune facing the ocean. This was super fun, mainly because all of us just acted like little kids for the day and we're literally rolling around in the sand like children, but so much fun and stunning scenery as well.
Oh my god!
So yeah, a part of these adventures, I mainly just stayed locally in Melbourne and chilled, and I loved every minute of it.
Guys, we just found the coolest spot here at the beach, and we're near Sorrento, and we're in this really dark cave that's so beautiful and has all these rock pools here, and then it opens out. It's the most majestic looking beach right here. Probably can't see because it's overexposed, but it's insane.
Reflecting back over these last 8 months, I'm so happy with my decision to come here. It was the chapter in my life that I needed to grow. I needed community, I needed rest, I needed a sense of belonging, and I needed a home. I got all of that and more living here. With the current global situation, I don't know if I can keep calling Australia my home, but I have no fear that everything will work out the way it's supposed to.
Oh, it's so cold. Oh my gosh. All right, obviously there's gonna be no leisure traveling going on for anyone for probably quite some time. Not that I can travel anyway, there's potatoes that need freaking picking. But anyways, I will be posting videos from my adventures here in Melbourne and a few spontaneous trips that I took to New Zealand over the next few months, probably because I really don't have much time to actually edit anything. I'm working some crazy ass hours here on this farm, but please bear with me. My videos might not be consistent, but they will be coming out. And if you want to know what I'm doing here on the farm, just follow me on Instagram. I post pretty much daily stories about potatoes. It's great. Or I post videos about my workouts on my fitness page, Instagram fitness page, working out with potatoes. Pretty interesting. Anyways, hope you're all staying safe and healthy and trying to remain positive during this madness of a world we're living in, but things will get better. They have to get better. And yeah, stay tuned and hopefully I'll see you soon. Peace.